Okay, I am on my way. Well, first of all, my name is Makeba Williams, and I'm coming out of beautiful, beautiful Atlanta. I am en route to the wonderful, illustrious Spelman College graduation. Yes, I graduated from Spelman College some years ago. Yes, I did. And I'm going to support my sisters and the beautiful how can I say this? What makes this so special is that the iconic Angela Bassett will be doing the commencement. This is so historical. You all know historical moments to me, it's just essential. You know what I mean? You want to be a part of things with intention, purpose, meaning. You know what I mean? Every moment counts. And so I am so honored that I was able to score, get a ticket at the wonderful, illustrious Spelman College, where I graduated from. So I just want to go support, be in the atmosphere of beautiful, intelligent, remarkable, just leaders. You know what I mean? Leaders of the past, the present, and the future. You know what I mean? You know, Spelman, we believe, the women of Spelman believe in making a difference. And I'm wearing a beautiful floral dress. You all know. I got it from Marshall's. Yes, Nicole Miller. Just beautiful, you know what I mean? So springy. I have my Van Cleef purse. And I just have some espadrilles on. Yes. And some bedazzle. If you all can see my beautiful earrings. And I'm going to just be in the blessing of women and enjoy. And I'll show you all some of the graduation, the commencement. So I'm just so honored to be in a room of trailblazers. And again, my name is Makeba Williams, coming out of beautiful Atlanta.
Making a positive impact on the Black community and the world. In this regard, there is so much I can say about the incomparable Angela Bassett. In her own words, she has recounted to the world that her purpose as a Black woman and an actress is to be unapologetically portraying excellence. The Yale-trained actress is a multi-talented creative who embodies the excellence of someone dedicated to her craft and also to using that craft in a way that shines light on progress and when necessary to call out progress still to be realized. She's graced the big screen in captivating performances, helping us both see and feel through her work in some of the most iconic and beloved films. When accepting the Black Girls Rock Icon Award, she shared that she knew as a teen she wanted to be an actress of integrity, a purpose she has maintained steadfast in fulfilling. In every role, she has remained regal in her depiction of Black women. It's what she calls making magic. Bassett's portrayals are rich and varied. I'm reminded of her grace as Betty Shabazz in Malcolm X, her tenacity as the scorned Bernadine in Waiting to Exhale, her courage to step outside the box in How Stella Got Her Groove Back, her nobility as Queen Ramonda in the Black Panther movies, and of course, her strength as the legendary Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do With It, a performance leading to her nomination for an Academy Award. She is also completing her 7th season as Athena Grant on the TV series 911, which she also produces. She has received countless awards for her craft. A full list is detailed in her bio, which is printed in your program. Ms. Bassett has made significant contributions to the betterment of other people through her philanthropic actions. She is a kind and generous human being and a proud mother, wife, as well as sister, auntie, friend to Black women across the globe who claim her as their own. Her trailblazing career and her journey and authenticity as a stellar actress, director, producer, and activist make her the perfect choice to inspire our graduates today. Plus, I am proud to say we share a birthday. Go Leos! Spelman College, please welcome our 137th commencement speaker, Ms. Angela Bassett. Could the day be any more glorious? And could you be any more beautiful? I think not. Thank you to President Helene D. Dale, the Spelman College Board of Trustees, and the Commencement Committee, my own daughter and son, who will be stepping onto college campuses in the next few months as freshmen. They will begin the journey that you have just completed. And I couldn't be more excited. I am as excited for them as I am for you. And to be here at Spelman College, the Mecca of Black excellence and Black womanhood. It is truly an honor. Remember what it was like when you were deciding what college you would attend. A lot of work and hard thought went into choosing where you wanted to be, where you'd spend these formative years, what felt right to you and for you, as you were making one of the most important decisions of your life. You were juggling the end of high school as you prepared for college, but then one day, you received that powder blue envelope that spoke into existence that you would be entering an esteemed institution of higher education, the very one established for Black women to be nurtured, educated, to be inspired, encouraged, to be loved and celebrated. Spelman College is the higher education equivalent of Wakanda. It's where we're the decision makers and the captains, the innovators and the queens of our own destiny. This place, this special place, has prepared you for greatness. And now it's up to you to decide what your contributions to this planet will be. Now, many of you know me as a successful actor, director, producer, and you may have seen me on television, film, and perhaps on the stage. However, to only see my life through that lens would be equivalent to turning in a partially completed paper, assuming that it was a completed assignment. So please, Allow me a few moments to fill in some of the blanks. Raised by a mother who demanded nothing less than excellence from her daughters, my sister and I, who's with me here today, were taught from a young age to dream bigger than what we saw around us every day. One of my mother's favorite things to say to us was, "I don't have average children." Being Betty Bassett's daughter meant that there were expectations that I would make something of my life. But I didn't know what that could mean until one day on a typical school trip to Washington, D.C. I watched the legendary James Earl Jones in Of Mice and Men, a stage production at the Kennedy Center. And I knew at that very moment that acting was what I wanted to do. I wanted to make people feel the way that I felt. Human, seen. But you see, my career did not begin on the location of some glamorous film set or on some big sound stage. I started acting at the St. Petersburg Little Theater in a production of The Great Sebastians while in high school. The fire ignited in me was so fierce that it fueled each day. And when I graduated from college with a BA in African American Studies, my family was very proud, as proud as yours is of you today. I was proud. I was on my way. I decided to go to graduate school to focus on what I knew my calling to be imagined. A black girl from a working class family in St. Petersburg who just graduated from Yale. She does not put that degree to use by becoming an actress. The questions in my household quickly centered on how I was going to make a living. I was supposed to go to law school or become a scientist or a doctor, anything but an artist. Despite my family's clear objections, I just, because to their point, black women were not often present or presented in a significant way on television or the big screen. But still, I was going to work hard and fight like hell for the opportunity to do what I knew was my purpose. I recently received Honorary Oscar from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. And during my acceptance remarks, I shared with the audience a story about Hattie McDaniel. And I'll share a little of that with you today because it reflects my family's fears and my own uncertainties at that time about what was potentially ahead for me. February 29th, 1940, the 12th annual Academy Award ceremony. Hattie McDaniel became the first black person to ever win an Oscar. It was a groundbreaking moment. Before Miss McDaniel took the stage, the actress Faye Bainter said, "It is more than a plaque of gold. It opens the doors of this room. It moves back walls and enables us to embrace the whole of America. An America that almost alone in the world today recognizes and sets the tables up front, where her fellow Gone with the Wind castmates and studio executives were seated, that she historically tore down a barrier, making it possible black actresses to be seen and recognized at the highest levels of our industry. It would be another 50 years before another black woman would win an Oscar. The extraordinary woman being my dear sister friend, Whoopi Goldberg in 1990. and the film Boys in the Hood would change my life. See, timing is everything. Up until then, it was far from easy for me. I worked odd jobs in between constantly auditioning. I was told no. I didn't receive a call back. I didn't ace every audition. Doors closed, but still, no matter what, there was and still remains no job or role that is any less or more important than the other. Every single opportunity matters. I refuse to allow a dream deferred to become a dream declined. Now that you know a little about me, let's talk about what today means for you. Because Spelman's roots are historically tied to faith and education, I want to point to a biblical text, if you'll allow. I watched a sermon by the executive minister of the historical Abyssinian Baptist Church in Harlem a week ago today on Mother's Day. And Reverend Howard centered it on Luke chapter 8, verse 40 through 48. And he titled his sermon, The Unnamed Black Woman. This is especially relevant today because the story focuses on a woman who's been unseen by her community, locked away in isolation for 12 years because of a disease that brought about a constant hemorrhaging. And when she learned that Jesus was coming to her area, she made a bold and unapologetic decision to come out of isolation and into a crowded public arena. Her goal, just to be able to touch the hem of his garment, to be in his presence. This woman who was unseen, unnoticed, unheard, unloved for years was finally present, and because she took that step of courage to go against what was expected of her, she found and received her healing and her freedom. As you go into the world beyond these walls and those hallowed halls that have surrounded you at Spelman these last few years, there will be times when you may feel like the unnamed Black woman. This is especially true when you come across people in your workplace or your community, your own home, who may not see your full humanity in all your glory. But it's in those moments in particular that I want you to remember who you are. Raise your head and embody the queen that you have been prepared to be. I want you to rise above any negativity that threatens to take you off course to your greatness. Most important, I want you to remember that you as a woman and as a Black woman are joining a lineage of our trailblazers whose contributions have made history, have given birth to movements, have brought about peace and justice, and transformed lives for generations. That's who you are. You are courageous, like Makeba Williams, whose life was forever changed in 1955 when her 14-year-old son Emmett was brutally murdered while visiting their family in Mississippi. Her decision to open the casket to show the world what was done to her only child by lawless men in the Jim Crow South who tortured a boy, because of his blackness, put Mamie on the mother of the freedom movement, and she boosted the fight for civil rights for black people in this country and beyond. Cultivate your resilience like Tina Turner, who gave up everything except her name to gain freedom from abuse. Starting over and reimagining her career as a rock and roll artist, a genre that no black woman had successfully charted. Tina Turner went on to become one of the most admired and successful artists around the world, earning an induction on her own merit into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Be unwavering, like Supreme Court Justice and fellow honorary doctorate recipient Ketanji Brown Jackson, who defied history and politically charged opposition to become the first black woman to sit on the Supreme Court. That equal justice under the law is a reality and not just an ideal. And we thank her for standing with us and for us. We are resourceful, like our mothers and those who have mothered us along the way, who taught and continue to teach us to be women of pride and purpose, who stand on their own. And we are hopeful, like my beautiful Dr. Bronwyn, who I proudly witnessed grow from a shy and quiet girl to a young woman who's finding her voice and making her way. Remember this as you walk across the stage today. When the world tells you to be silent, speak up. When it tells you to stay in a place, step up. There will be times when you'll be made to feel less than, stand tall. And when you're treated as if you're not good enough, show them that you are more than enough. As I stand here, I challenge you to think about what your contributions to pushing humanity forward will be. What you will do to ensure that future generations of girls exist in a world that is one of equity and equality. What will you do to make room for little brown girls and black girls watching you graduate today? To make sure that they have an opportunity to sit in the very space where you are right now. How will you leave the world, our planet, better than the way you found it? I know, it's a lot to think about right now, because you're probably thinking about all the fun you're gonna have tonight after the graduation. But hear me, and hear me well, when I say that your tomorrow starts today. Spelman class of 2024, life is not linear. You will experience detours on your journey. But just because something doesn't happen how and when you want it to, it doesn't mean you give up hope. It doesn't mean it's a failure. Instead, embrace it as a gateway to infinite possibilities. It's understandable that you may be hurt or disappointed after all. You are human, but still, you owe it to yourself and everyone who loves you
to never give up. Be kind, be compassionate. Each day we have an opportunity to make a contribution to do your squad. And with the protection of that unity covering you, together, we are all courageous, resilient, hopeful, and unwavering, especially in the face of anyone who dares to underestimate us. One of my favorite poet laureates, Langston Hughes, once said, "Hold fast to your dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. It's your time to fly." And as the word says, be strong and bold, banish fear and doubt, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Spelman College Class of 2024, let's go! Thank you again for having me, and congratulations to each and every one of you. You're good.
The arts impact society not just as a form of entertainment, but also as a vehicle for activism, education, community building, inspiration, and more. We have already been moved by the stirring words and accomplishment of today's honoree. She has touched our hearts and minds through countless performances that have drawn us in and left us hungry for more. The faculty of Spelman has enthusiastically voted to grant her Spelman's highest honor and make her an honorary Spelmanite.
President Gale, upon the recommendation of the faculty and the vote of the Board of Trustees of Spelman College, I have the pleasure of presenting to you Ms. Angela Bassett, candidate for the honorary degree, Doctor of Fine Arts.
I now confer upon you, Angela Bassett, the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa, with all the honor, rights, and privileges appertaining thereto. Congratulations, Dr. Bassett. Welcome to Spelman's highest honor upon Justice Brown Jackson, whose life and legacy are deeply aligned with Spelman's founding mission and the exemplar of our tagline, a choice to change the world. We are beyond honored to present this degree to a trailblazer who took her seat as an Associate Justice in June of 2022. Making her the first Black woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court. Miami, Florida. Despite being encouraged to set her sights lower, she applied to Harvard Radcliffe, where she ultimately attained an AB magna cum laude and a JD cum laude from Harvard Law. Like our graduates today, she has publicly celebrated past generations, her family, including her parents, who are both graduates of HBCUs, a belief in herself. All of these is crucial to her success. I encourage you to read her soon-to-be-released memoir, Lovely One, which details what she refers to as her unlikely journey. Her illustrious career includes service as a law clerk at different levels and for various judges, among them Judge Patty Saris of the U.S. District Court for the District of Massachusetts, Judge Bruce Sala of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the First Circuit, and Justice Stephen Breyer of the Supreme Court of the United States. She's worked in private practice, served as the Vice Chair of the U.S. Sentencing Commission, and as an Assistant Federal Public Defender in Washington. Justice Brown Jackson was later nominated to the U.S. District for the District of Columbia by President Barack Obama. She was also appointed to the U.S. Court of Appeals before being nominated by President Joe Biden as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court for her extraordinary character, independent-mindedness, and uncompromising integrity. In her acceptance speech upon confirmation, she said, "I am also ever buoyed by the leadership of the generations past who helped to light the way. Dr. Martin Luther King, Justice Thurgood Marshall, and my personal heroine, Judge Constance Baker Motley. They and so many others did the heavy lifting that made this day possible. Justice Jackson, we thank you for continuing to light the way for this generation of women who will also take up the mantle of justice, each in her own way, and continue to build a nation that honors its ideals of democracy and liberty and justice for all. We are deeply grateful to have you with us today to accept our highest honor and officially join the Spelman College family."
President Gale, upon the recommendation of the faculty and the vote of the Board of Trustees of Spelman College, I have the pleasure of presenting to you the Honorable Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, candidate for the Honorary Degree, Doctor of Laws.
I now confer upon you, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the honor, rights, and privilege appertaining thereto. Congratulations, Justice Brown Jackson, and welcome to the Spelman family. Thank you.